The Witcher 4 narrative director responds to backlash over Ciri's promotion to protagonist. Says players' wish for more Geralt is valid. Yeah. Because every time we're like, look, we didn't get enough Geralt on Netflix. We didn't get, we want to keep the same amount of Geralt in the games. You're like, yeah, but Ciri. Yeah, but Yennefer. I don't, no. No. And we'll get into the source material here in a bit. I covered a little bit of this last week, too. Admittedly, I think the trailer looks good. I think the game looks fun. It looks like a Witcher game. And no, I do not think Ciri looks ugly there. If you think that's ugly, all the guys online sitting there are like, oh my god, they uglified her. If that was a real woman, like a real woman that looked like this, like said hi to you, you'd freaking mess yourself. Like, give me a break. Either way, far from choosing to denigrate those players who had hoped for The Witcher 4, would once again feature Geralt as its protagonist, The Witcher 4 narrative director Philip Weber has instead admitted that not only does he consider the disappointment over the hero's retirement to be valid, but that it's up to CD Projekt Red themselves to prove that Ciri will be a worthwhile protagonist. Yeah, and I was just pumping them up. Yeah, see, come on. Oh, she's so ugly. Oh, God. Morons. Too ugly, can't fap. Will not play. Either way, I just, like a month ago, was talking good about CD Projekt Red because they were like, look, we really effed up with Cyberpunk 2077. Which I feel like after a while they fixed, by the way, because the game is great now. I have a lot of fun playing it. I think it's a good game. But they made a lot of bad will by releasing a horribly broken game that they had to issue refunds for, and then it took them a while to fix it. And they were like, yeah, it sucks, and I don't know how we're going to be able to make up for it, but we're going to try. And it's on us, and they took total blame for it. I was like, good on them, man. But now, I don't know, they're pissing people off again. And they should know what's going on, especially with the Netflix controversy and everything with The Witcher. Now this. Weber, who, in addition to his current role, has also served as a studio quest designer on The Witcher 3, its two expansions, Hearts of Stone and Blood and Wine, and Cyberpunk 2077, offered his thoughts on the current The Witcher-related discourse during a soon-to-be-published interview with VGC's Jordan Midler. Okay. In an excerpt from said interview provided to the public on December 18th, on the topic of the Geralt-Ciri protagonist switch, Weber asserted, quote, I think we definitely knew it could be controversial for some people because, of course, in the previous three Witcher games, Geralt was the protagonist, and I think everyone really loved playing as Geralt. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's one of those, like, Ciri is Ciri. She can be a Witcher, and my phone thinks I'm talking to it. But she's not the Witcher. The Witcher is Geralt. He's the one all the books follow. He's the one all the games follow. He's supposed to be the main character of the Netflix show, even though he's, like, they make him part of an ensemble cast, which is just nuts. But he is the Witcher. It's not Ciri. Sorry. Sorry, phone, again, not talking to you. Either way. I really loved playing as Geralt, he continued. So I think we're aware that if some people think right now that they would still prefer to be Geralt, I think that's a legitimate concern. So if this is where their concern is coming from, that's valid. To this end, rather than berate upset fans for their preferences or attempt to shame them into getting on board, Weber took the rare move of admitting that the onus of both endearing Ciri to players and ensuring that her story made sense lay completely on CD Projekt Red. Yes, that is 100% correct. Quote, the best thing that we can do, and I think this is really our goal is to prove that Ciri, we can do a lot of interesting things, so we can really make it worth it, because this decision to have Ciri as a protagonist wasn't made yesterday. We started making this a very long time ago. Said the narrative director. Ciri was already being set up as the second protagonist in the Andrzej Sapkowski novels, and as the second playable character in The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. So for us, it really was the natural evolution of what we've already been making for so long, he added. Also, for people who really love Geralt, it lets us honor the ending of Geralt, or that Geralt had in The Witcher 3 and in Blood and Wine, which saw him hanging up his sword and retiring to a peaceful life at his newly gifted Corvo Bianco vineyard, itself given to The Witcher by Duchess Anne Henrietta as prepayment for his killing of the beast of Beauclair, I guess. I don't know. Sorry, haven't got that far in the game yet. But yeah, I mean, it does seem like a natural evolution. And they also said, they're like, dude, these are based on the books, but these aren't the books. This is our own original story. It has been from the beginning. These are not recreations of the books. The show, that's different. That was supposed to be based on the books, and that was supposed to be. It was also at least supposed to pretty much follow the lore. I feel like the games, at least, they're original stories and an original progression of things, but it follows the lore and the characters pretty well. The show does not, and I like the show, but it's not. It doesn't follow the book lore very well. That's why people were talking about. Well, she can't pass the no woman has ever passed the trial of the grasses, or the trial of the grasses, and a theory is because, well, she has elder blood in her, so that will help her. That's probably going to be their out. Well, she has elder blood in her. It strengthens her. She's different. She's not just an average woman. So yeah, and that makes sense. And people are going to cry and whine about it, whatever. I get it. I don't really see that much of a big deal with it. And it's not like she came out of nowhere and she's girl bossing it. She was trained by Geralt. She's been there from the beginning. This was kind of where it was heading. I need to get back in the books, damn it. But I have another article to get into after this regarding the books, but just that will piss you off more than this will. I feel like this article is like a make good, and I feel like it's like, okay, I don't hate it quite so bad. But offering one last admission that the responsibility for Ciri's reception lay solely with CD Projekt Red, Weaver ultimately affirmed, quote, "At the same time, of course, with Ciri being at the beginning of her journey as a Witcher, it also lets us tell new stories of what it means to become a Witcher. So, for those people who are worried right now, if that comes from a place of passion, I want to say I think the next time we show the game, our goal is to show and prove that Ciri can be a worthy protagonist for The Witcher 4. I agree. Wholeheartedly, you're starting anew. She's not, that's the difference between doing a story of Batman who's been in the game for 20 years and starting a new story with Robin or what's his name, Nightwing, who is just going out on his own and starting something new. New story, like similar stuff. He's not Batman, he's Nightwing, and he's trained under Batman, but he's younger. He's got his own stuff now. It's a completely different story you can tell than with Geralt. And you've had 3 games of Geralt. You have all these books of Geralt. And like I said, he is the Witcher. So I get it. I'm not putting down people who want Geralt. And I'm kind of one of them. But I feel like The Witcher 4 makes sense. All these people crying and acting like it's unprecedented, and it's just more girl bossing. Like I just said, she didn't come out of nowhere. She trained under him. She has elder blood. Now, if she comes out right away as just better than Geralt at everything, okay, F off. But I feel like they're going to make her a novice and just kind of build it up from there, and she needs help. Geralt occasionally needed help from Vesemir, from Yennefer, from Ciri, from Triss. So I don't know. Occasionally from Yasker or Dandelion, whatever you want to call him. I don't know. Did they call him Dandelion in the? I think they called him Dandelion in the games, right? Maybe I'm wrong. I don't remember. I remember when I first got into the books because I watched the Netflix show first, and then I got into the books a little bit, and I'm like, who the f is Dandelion? I'm like, I think that's Yasker's character, and then I found out that yeah, they don't want to call him Dandelion or whatever. They just went with his actual name. If you read the Polish books, his name is Yasker, but it translated to roughly to Dandelion, or it translated to something else, but they thought that Dandelion sounded better, even though it's like it sounds like a powder puff to me. I'm trying to be YouTube friendly with that word, but it makes him sound light in his loafers. I'll say to call him Dandelion. I like Yasker better. They should have just stuck with that.